Hello, I'm Hal Ottaway with the Wichita Postcard Club, and it's time once again for another postcard of the week. And I wanted to tell you about and show you a postcard today that I purchased at Postcard Week here in Wichita several weeks ago, all before the postcard show, also in Wichita. This was our 47th year of doing this annual event, and people came from all over the country, were centrally located, and they fly in here and they drive in here and come from big, great distances like California and Connecticut and Pennsylvania and all around. We have a big time, and Postcard Week, we've been talking about more this year than perhaps in the past. But let me explain. When people come early to the show, and as early as a week or more ahead, they're very likely to find postcard dealers already there, already set up in their bedrooms, but sometimes they don't even sleep there. They use it as a venue for selling postcards. And you open the door, or the door's already open as you walk by, and you'll see postcards galore on top of the bed, on top of tables and countertops that they've brought in these extra tables with them. They've done this before, and we just have the best time. And it's like old home week. It's a reunion time, seeing friends from great distances and checking on grandchildren and talking about this and that. But this year, I went up on second floor at the hotel, and I encountered Chris Payton from Wichita and Rick Hoban from the Albuquerque, New Mexico area. They were set up together in a room, and it's been, I guess, 11 years since I've checked out Rick's stock. I buy from him every once in a while on eBay, but he had his stock, and since he's a New Mexico dealer, I asked him first off, what do you have in New Mexico? And he showed me a couple of good sized boxes, and I just set myself down on the edge of the bed and started going through those cards. I'm interested in big cities, little towns, street scenes, everything about the state of New Mexico. My wife and I lived there in the early 70s and had our first child there at the hospital in Taos, New Mexico. In any case, I bought this card I want to show you. It's the El Sombrero restaurant in Albuquerque, and it was located at, let me get the exact address here, 4415 Central Avenue East. And that was on Highway 66, or also remembered as Route 66, all the way from Chicago to California. I'll read this back here. It's pretty cute. It says, an enjoyable and friendly place for the traveler, serving in simplicity, good food and good coffee, ample parking, and open 24 hours a day. I have a friend that is pretty good at identifying automobiles, and he checked this out and says that that's probably a 1955 Ford Fairlane model to the right, parked in front of the El Sombrero. But so that kind of helps date the card. You know that it's not, or probably not earlier than 1955, but in the mid 50s. We call that mid century today in lots of other collecting avenues. But I found out that the Sombrero was built in the mid 40s, probably during the war or just right after World War II. And then it lasted about 10 years. And for one reason or another that we don't know, the the restaurant was torn down, and I think the land has been used for something else now. But it's a great roadside attraction type postcard, and that's one of the topics I collect within the state of New Mexico. But this great building, this great Mexican restaurant, Mexican American restaurant, with a big El Sombrero, the hat that gentlemen in south of the border oftentimes have and wear and enjoy. A big wide brim to keep the sun off of them. It's a great card. And let me also say that it's a color chrome finished postcard. This is what happened. We had the views during World War One, and we had they were usually a printed view. We got into Dutch with the people that made the pretty cards in Germany and in Austria and some of those lands, as well as England too. Because of the World War One, these sources for postcards went away, and we had to print our own here in this country. And then after World War One, in the 40s, after and during World War II times, they started coming out with chrome colored cards, and this is one of those. So I would say this is, we know from the car on it that it's mid 1950s, and it's just a great advertising postcard. And Route 66, and it's Roadside America. It's all of these neat things that are fun to collect and look for. Well, that's my topic and my card for this week. And be here with me next week, and I'll have another postcard from the Wichita Postcard Week and Postcard Show recently held here in Wichita. Take care and thank you. Bye bye.